Did you ever learn a lesson through experience and appreciate it and make sure you never made the same mistake again? That's wonderful when you have time for it. I didn't. I didn't have time to even think about it or ask anybody about it. All of a sudden, I was thrown into something that seemed so innocent and harmless. It's a funny thing. You never have any warning of something like this happening to you. Here's my story.
Boy, does he hate me. Did I give him a rough time last year? Man, what a jerk.
I don't know. He's always been very nice to me. I like him.
You're out of your mind if you think he'd care whether you pass or not. Come on in. Don't get hung up out there.
Who's that, Chuck?
You kidding? That's Malburn. Nobody else blows like that.
You want to sit down here, honey?
No, that's okay. I'll sit over here.
Oh, no. Sit down over here, baby, where you can dig the music better.
What's the matter, darling? Did Mommy hurt his little boy's arm?
I'll arm you in a minute. Well, you're a real flip. Out of town. My old man is. He's always on the road.
What does he do?
Sells junk.
Really? Genie's dad's a salesman, too. What's so funny? I didn't say it was a traveling salesman.
Guess that.
Well, tell us what's so funny.
You tell him, Chuck.
Where'd you say your mother was?
I didn't say.
I'm bugging yourself.
Oh, man, will you dig that music? Ain't that got a living grabbing in? What are you doing? Don't waste that charge. Draw air in with it like I showed you. Yeah, that's it. Now hold it in as long as you can.
Is he ahead?
You mean Jimmy?
No, Harry, stupid, the record.
He takes off.
A junk?
What else?
Go ahead, honey. Try some. It's not habit forming, really. It's not. This is the third time I've smoked it.
Oh, thank you. Listen, I have to go. My mother's expecting me early.
Atta girl. That's giving him the answers, honey. Don't you let that bad little boy talk you into smoking that bad old cigarette. It might even have marijuana in it. Huh.
Stop putting her on, Chuck.
Ah.
Go ahead, baby. No, try it. Believe me, it won't hurt you. Look at me. I've been getting on for over a year now. Do I look sick? Well, do I?
What are you scared of?
She probably thinks everybody in school will find out.
Oh, they didn't tell anybody, honey. Go ahead.
Do you really want me to? Is it important to you?
I wouldn't tell you to do anything that I didn't think was, I can't remember what we were talking about.
You hung up, huh?
Well, maybe you can remember this.
Wow, you sure picked an ether, kid.
Yeah, what a bring down she is.
Now, let's smoke this roach. Sit down, Jim.
I don't want any more. It makes me feel worse instead of better.
Oh, now don't go putting it down just because you got a square girlfriend.
You said it didn't matter how square she was.
What do you want from me? I didn't know she was going to get sore before she even took a poke.
It's not just her. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I feel stupid. Say everything wrong. She's probably going to tell my mother.
She won't tell nobody. You sit tight. I'll be right back.
It's not just what she'll say. I never saw her that mad.
Look, baby, don't worry about it. She can't hurt anybody. She can't tell anybody, even her folks. Don't forget, she smoked it too. Just hope it's the last time you see her. Those little girls are built for trouble. Girl that doesn't care enough about you to get her kicks with you.
Hey, watch it now, kids. Don't go getting eyes for each other.
I didn't do anything like that.
Baby, he was kidding.
Sure, what's good enough for me is good enough for my friend. Oh, man, this stuff is the crazy.
What are you gonna do, Chuck?
I'm gonna make you real happy, Dad.
No, Chuck, I'm putting it down. It doesn't work right on me.
Oh, you're thinking about Cage. This stuff ain't Cage. This stuff costs a lot more. Cage takes you up. But it brings you way down, too. This stuff is strictly up. Stone. You can't get no higher.
What is it?
Horse.
Huh?
Horse. Jump. H.
Heroin, baby. It's the greatest.
It's the only stuff that'll take you up and keep you there.
That's the stuff you crave, though. That's the stuff that puts you in a hospital.
Sure, if you don't know how to handle it. So will juice. So will juice.
Liquor, baby.
And this stuff won't give you the DTs.
You better skip me, Chuck. I'm a little afraid of it.
Oh, now look, I just want to make you feel better. This business with your girl was my fault, too, you know.
It's not just her. I'm afraid of what it might do to me.
Skin pop can't hurt you.
Look, didn't you just tell Jeannie that tea won't hurt you? Did I lie to you about it? No. This stuff is no different.
Come on, baby. Take off with us. Let him do it.
That was it. My first skin pop. My introduction to heroin. The stuff that made everything else seem so unimportant. And for the first time in my 17 years, I was able to steal. From my mother, from my father. Didn't even seem wrong. Then I became careless. I started taking stuff wherever I happened to be when I felt the need. Even the boys' room in school. My carelessness and Gay's being arrested at a marijuana party scared Chuck. He began to avoid me.
Hey, Chuck. What do you say, kid?
What are you fluffing me up for?
I ain't fluffing you, kid.
Well, what's wrong?
I ain't bugged at you, if that's what you're worried about. It's like I can't help you no more.
Why?
I put it down. I'm off of it.
Put it down.
You going out for track? I don't know. It all depends on what happens with the football team.
Well, I am, brother. Well, that coach is
My
terrific.
connection's cut out on me. The heat's on.
Cut out? Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm down to my last 2 caps. And even my last place to steal from. You know, Mom found out about those checks.
How?
Yeah, no, you had anything to do with it.
What about your old man's watch?
She thinks the maid took it, so she let her go.
Look, will you stay away from me till this thing cools off?
Stay away? How can I stay away? The only time I feel good anymore is when I've just taken a skin pop. And man, I use it so much more now than I ever used before.
Well, quit playing around with it, skin pop. No wonder it don't last you. Why don't you take it in the main line like I do? I mean main line. Here. Right in there. Goes right into the bloodstream. You get the full force Oh, well, I will. Oh, you gotta give me another connection, man. You just gotta. I tell you what, why don't you introduce me to your connection? That's the least you could do since you turned me on, huh? I don't even know you. It's your habit. Find your own connections.
Hi, Chuck.
Jeannie.
Well, what do you want?
I want to say hello.
Hello.
Don't do that. It's not fair. I want to explain.
Fair. What about that embarrassing position you put
I
me
haven't
in?
had a chance to explain.
You don't have to. The bell's gonna ring. I've got to get to class.
Oh, forget class. This is more...
Yes, forget class. That's another thing your friends have taught you.
That's what I want to tell you. They're not anymore.
Not?
They're not my friends. I just told Chuck to stay away from me.
There it is, Jimmy. I've got to go now.
Can I call or come over?
Not as long as you're still smoking that stuff.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I put it down.
What?
I haven't smoked since that day.
I have to go now, but I
Can I call, come over?
guess not. You better get to class, too.
At least I fooled Jeannie into making up with me. But Chuck wasn't kidding. I had to find my own connection for the stuff.
You think I'd know about these kind of things, son?
I don't know. I thought...
No, never mind. What's your trouble?
If I don't get it fixed today, I don't think I'll live through the night.
No, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad. I'm a mainliner.
Let's see your arm. Who got you on this stuff?
I don't know, I guess.
How old are you anyway?
If you're gonna help me, you gotta do it right away because I can't sit still much longer.
When did you take your last shot?
This morning, about 11 o'clock.
Holy mackerel, you are in bad shape for a kid.
Mister, will you please tell me straight? You a pusher or not?
Pusher? No, I use it myself, but...
Can you get me some?
Well, no, you're pretty young. I don't...
Can you get me some or not?
Where
now?
you been getting it from?
Can you get me some or not? I want to know now.
Well, I got some for my own use, but I don't like trouble. How much would you want?
There's 2 caps. Right away, how much would they be?
Forget it. I'm no dope peddler. I might let you have 10, but I ain't gonna take a chance on getting busted for $2.
Well, that's all I need right now. I'll buy the rest tomorrow. But
Right now, you only got $2, right? You want 10 or you forgotten?
Okay. I'll take 10. When will you have them?
You'll have them in about 30 minutes. Look under the phone in the booth around the corner. The drugstore. There'll be 10 stuck under the phone with gum. Just leave $10 when you take it. Okay? What'd you say your name was?
Chuck.
Okay, Chuck. One more thing. I don't want any more friends, you know? Might make trouble for both of us. Thanks, Bob. I'll keep it. Hope you can dig up the rest of the money, kid. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Jeannie? Hello, honey. Jimmy. Have they? Well, that's a long story. I'll explain it to you when I see you. No, we didn't have a fight. It's just that Dad doesn't understand the way I feel. You know, I wanted to quit school and get a job, and he said I couldn't, so I had to leave. Listen, Jeannie, you once said that if I ever needed any money to tide me over, you'd loan it to me out of your savings. Well, could you loan me $20? Till I get a job, till I get paid. You see, I need the money to eat on. Honey, I can't go to them. Oh, yes, I have a job. I start next week. Just in the meantime. Oh, no. Honey, no. Really, you gotta believe me. I haven't seen Chuck, really. Will you? It's very nice of you, Jeannie. What about them? Police? What for? Isn't that just like my folks? Oh, don't tell them anything. I'll explain it all to you when I see you. But right now, could you meet me right away? Just a second, Jeannie. Jeannie, do you know where Martin's apartment house is? That's right, but there's an alley that leads into it from 4th Street. You walk a few steps down the alley and you come to a door that leads to a basement. Honey, I can't let anybody see me. Oh, yes, it's all right. That's where I'm sleeping. Bob Martin's folks own it, and he said it was all right. Look, honey, can you meet me there in 10 minutes?
So she met me, gave me the 20. And from then on, it was a nightmare. Jeannie supplied much more money after that. But finally, even she couldn't help any longer.
It doesn't have anything to do with you.
But it does, Jimmy. I can't stand lying to your mother anymore. She's so worried. Jimmy, I feel responsible because of the money I've given you.
Are you going to throw that up to me now?
I'm not throwing it up to you. I don't have any more money. And I'm worried about what you've been doing with it. If I'd have known that you were going to buy dope, I never would have given you that first $20.
Jimmy, will you please do me a favor and go? I just don't feel like being preached to now. I don't want you here. There's no place for you.
It's no place for you either, Jimmy. Please go home and tell your folks. Let them get you to a doctor or a hospital or
Stop
something.
talking. You still don't understand. I'm not on dope. Now, gee, I can't talk anymore. Would you please get out of here?
I'll go when you go with me.
Right. Sit there. I don't care. Just stop telling me to go home.
Jimmy, please, don't you see how guilty I feel? Knowing you're here, ruining your life, deceiving your... lying to you. What are you doing, Jimmy?
Didn't I tell you to go home? What did you do? I evil-minded fool, you don't know I'll die. I just can't break off.
But you can't go on living like this. I don't know how you can stop, Jimmy, but you've got to. This is worse than dying. If I had to live the
Oh,
way...
you know, it's not your life or your neck, it's mine, and you just murdered me unless you do something. You gotta find Chuck.
No, he's the one who got you.
Shut up and listen to me. Find Chuck wherever he is now. Tell him where I am. Tell him to get over here right away, quick. If he says he can't come, you tell him he has to. We'll get in trouble, real trouble. Tell him I'm dying. Cold turkey.
I can't do it, Jimmy. I'm going to tell your folks.
You do it, I'll kill you.
I'll get Chuck for you, Jimmy. You were right. I didn't understand.
I didn't understand either. Chuck showed up all right. Said he'd try to find his connection and left. Finally, he came back.
Don't get excited. Nothing happened. I couldn't find it.
Give me the money, then. I have to go.
Lie down, miserable. How much more can you louse up? I'll go for you. Now, who's your connection?
He's not one. He's just a guy.
Oh, crazy, man. That's the coolest. You gonna tell me or you want to die?
He said there was trouble.
Oh, yeah? What did he threaten you with, a popsicle stick? Spill it, idiot, you'll die before I have time to find it.
Joe. Yeah, he's on Rob Shine's.
Over on Peak Street? That tall, blonde guy? Okay. Don't mess around and die on me. He's been sweating it out for 2 days now, cold turkey. And if you don't save him, you might be sorry.
Look, you better find a doctor. You're
Stop
talking to the wrong
putting me
guy.
on, you cheap pot pusher. I ain't afraid of you. You're his connection, and I know it. If you don't give him a fix, he's gonna die. And if he does, I'll finger you so fast you won't know what hit you.
You say the kid can't dig up any more money?
No, he can't move. He's too hooked to operate.
You're a pretty tough kid. You a mainliner, too?
For years. What do you say? Is it gonna be a fix? Or you wanna get busted?
I'll be back in about 20 minutes. You stick around, huh?
Yeah, I figured the old horse would bring you too. Man, you sure got a bad arm there. I had a hard time hitting the vein. I want to see what kind of stuff you've been getting.
Skip. You told me you were a mainline.
Yes, sir.
And you've been in the hospital for the last 3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
From the effects of taking a shot from the same poison capsule that caused Jimmy's death. Is that right?
That's right. I mean, yes, sir.
But you didn't take it directly into the bloodstream.
No, sir, I didn't.
Was the man who gave you this capsule in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you identify him?
Yes, sir.
Will you point him out? Please.
Right there.
What caused it? I'm not sure. But if I hadn't taken that first puff, it wouldn't have happened. Whatever made me do it was in my own mind and was my own fault. Well, there it is. My story. Another wasted life on the sidewalk of experience. Don't let it happen to you.
Beat it! Scrap! It's the cops! Hey, what's going on here? Pull it, you guys! Tom, Charlie, help! He's got it! Where those other guys go? Come on, let's get over here. Over the wall. Go get the wall. Okay, come on over and sit down. Right there. This is Ed Peterson, Special Officer, Lake District. Give me the Central Police Station, Juvenile Section.
and 305-35. See the woman in family dispute, Wilmot.
Look, Walt.
4L37, 4L37, and 4L57, 4L57. A fight in the alley between 3rd and 4th.
Juvenile car 2.
Juvenile car 2, pick up 459. Juvenile burglar at the Spartan Camera Shop, 440 North Park. Subject and special officer there now.
J2, 459 at Spartan Camera, 440 North Park. Roger and out.
Hi, Ed. What do you got?
Well, some kids tried to walk off with half of the camera shop. I caught this one, but his pals got out the back door.
Hello, Jerry. At it again, huh, boy?
You know this kid?
Sure do. Makes the 3rd time this month I picked him up.
Did you call the owner?
Yeah, he'll be right down.
Send him down to the station when he gets here, will you? I'll want to talk to him.
Okay, Walt.
Well, you've had it this time, kid. You bought yourself a one-way ticket to juvenile camp. Come on, Jerry. Let's go. Thanks, Ed. See you around.
Okay, Walt.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Nancy. Sit right here. You better call his parents.
Right.
So how's it going, Walt? Oh, routine, Sarge. I'll be with you in a minute. Okay. Now tell me once again, where do you live?
3615 Elm Street.
That's about 10 blocks from here, right?
Yeah.
How fast can you get there?
How far?
I'm gonna send an officer over in 15 minutes. You better be there.
We'll be there.
Okay, scram. No more trouble, understand?
Okay.
Hello, Mrs. Williams? This is Officer Batelli, Lakewood Police Station, Juvenile Section. We have your son, Jerry, here. He's been arrested for burglary. Yes, I'm sure it's your Jerry. You'll have to come down to the station, Mrs. Williams. Well, no, right now, as soon as possible. Mrs. Williams, your son has been arrested for burglary. You'll have to take the time. No, I can't bring him
Here, let me
home.
talk to her. This is Police Officer Martin. You come down here right away or I'll come out there and bring you in. Parents, never any time for their kids.
All right, Walt, let's take it easy. You know you can't do anything for him. If the lieutenant heard you talking like that to citizens, you'd really be in a jam. I'm going up for some coffee. You want some?
Thanks, I could use a cup.
Oh, how about you, officer?
Oh, no, thank you.
I'll interview Jerry after I talk to the Sarge. See if you can find out who was with him at the camera shop tonight. He was snatching purses for a while with a kid by the name of Charlie McGrath. See if that name gets a reaction.
Right. Jerry, would you come over to the desk, please? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Sit down. Jerry Williams, 1812 Hendricks. Hair brown, eyes brown. How tall are you, Jerry?
5'4".
And what do you weigh?
97.
And how old are you?
13.
Here's your coffee, Walt.
Thanks.
Drink it. Might calm you down.
Parents like that really get me going.
Where'd you get the kid on?
459 over at the Spartan Camera Shop. That's over at 440 North Park.
What was his file like?
Oh, purse snatching, petty theft, curfew violations, malicious mischief.
What action was taken?
I talked to him and his parents each time, then let him go.
Same thing, huh? Counseled and released?
Counseled and released. That does a lot of good.
Let's face it. This thing is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. You know as well as I that most of the parents we see around here don't care what happens to their kids. And juvenile doesn't have the trained personnel or the facilities to handle the situation.
So what are we supposed to do?
Just do your job. When they break the law, you bring them in. Maybe when enough people get hurt around here, somebody will wake up and do something about it.
Well, I'd be happy for a week if I could get that kid in a forestry camp or something.
Or maybe you can. It's probably all he needs.
What's this all about, my son being arrested for burglary? Don't tell him anything, Jerry.
Is that his old man?
Yeah. I've talked to him before. I'll be right back.
Why do you insist upon persecuting children when there's so many serious matters that need attention?
Mr. Williams.
Oh, there you are. Say, what's the idea of ordering us around over the telephone, Martin? We haven't done anything. You treat us like criminals. Look, I haven't got time to run all over town. I got a long trip to make tomorrow.
Maybe you'll have to forget your trip, Mr. Williams. A merchant officer caught your boy in a camera shop tonight.
What? Jerry, my son wouldn't do a thing like that.
I still can't believe it.
Well, it's true, and I'm going to request his detention.
You can't lock him up. He's just a little boy, a child. Besides, I can't afford a scandal like this.
Well, you can't blame us. Why, we give Jerry everything he needs. He doesn't have to go around stealing.
Look, Martin, there's no need to get tough about this. It was probably just a kid trick. Listen, I pulled a lot of stunts myself in my time. Everybody does. If he broke anything, I'll settle with the owner. But I can't afford to have my son sent to prison.
It's not up to me. The juvenile court will decide what's to be done with him. Now, after we finish talking to him tonight, you can take him home. You'll be notified when to appear in court. Now, meanwhile, try and keep him out of trouble, will you? You can wait over there.
Who's this probation officer, Phillips?
I guess so. Yeah.
Better give him a call. Tell him we've got one of his boys.
Frank's a good man. Maybe he can push it through. You know, if I can't do anything for this kid, I'm going to give up.
Pardon. This is Frank Phillips. Hi, Walt. How are you? Who? Jerry Williams. Just a second. Yeah, Jerry's one of my boys. Why?
When's the last time you talked to him?
The last time? Well, I haven't had a chance to talk with the kid the first time yet.
Frank, he's been on probation for 6 months.
Walt, have a heart, will you? I'm not twins. What'd the boy do?
Oh, he and a couple other kids broke into a camera shop tonight.
Burglary. Now, that's bad. Anybody hurt? Well, that's something, anyway.
Listen, Frank, I'm going to request his detention. You know, we really ought to do something for this kid. I think maybe forestry camp might do him some good. Can you push it through?
Walt, I'll do the best I can. First, I have to talk with the boy and his parents. Yeah, they're home. Next week, Wednesday or Thursday night. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah. Okay, Walt. Goodbye.
Look, Mr. Phillips, I've got my problem.
Look, Mr. Phillips, can't we settle this without so much trouble? Look, bad to have Jerry sent away.
Yes, it certainly will.
Well, it's your own fault. If you'd spent more time with the boy, I wouldn't be here tonight at all.
What do you mean? I spent time with Jerry. I took him to a company picnic last summer, and we got along fine.
A company picnic.
My husband and I work hard, Mr. Phillips, to give Jerry the things he needs. Why, he's never had to go without. He has a nice home, good clothes, a room of his own.
And a bicycle. He wanted a racing bike for Christmas, so we got it for him. It cost almost $80. I don't think he's been out it once.
It's perfectly apparent you're not giving the boy the one thing he needs the most.
Now, what's that?
Your time.
What?
Yourselves.
Do you want us to spoil that child? Listen, I haven't got time to go around babying him. He's just got a bad streak in him, that's all.
And I know where he gets it.
Look, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, we'll talk about this later sometime. But right now, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak with Jerry, alone.
Well, he's in his room. I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
Look, Mr. Phillips, what do you expect us to do with a kid like that? He just doesn't listen to me. You know, it was all I could do to keep him in tonight.
Well, you're going to have to do more than just keep him in at night.
What?
Jerry, Mr. Phillips wants to talk to you. I want you to be sure and listen to everything he says. He wants to help you. My husband and I will be in the kitchen.
Thank you. Sit down, Jerry. Sit down. I'm Frank Phillips. I'm your probation officer. I'm not here to ask you a lot of tough questions. Come on over a little closer, will you? Look, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you if I can. Attaboy.
Who asked you for anything?
Jerry, you don't seem to realize the seriousness of the things you've done. You know, there's a good chance you'll be sent away to keep you out of further trouble.
What's the difference?
There's a lot of difference. Your mother and your father are here. You have a fine home.
Yeah. My mother and father, they're just great. Don't kid me. I got nothing here. One of these days, I'm just going to take off.
Look, Jerry, running away is not the answer.
Well, what is?
Jerry, Officer Martin seems to think you'd get along pretty well in forestry camp. Maybe that's the answer. Do you know anything about the forestry camps in this area?
Yeah, Baxter, the kid that works over at the corner gas station, he was at one of them.
Did he tell you about it?
No, I just heard he was up there for a while.
Why don't you talk to Baxter about the camps?
You gonna send me to camp?
Now, look, Jerry, that's not up to me. The court will make that decision. But Officer Martin has requested your detention. If I were you, I think I'd talk to Baxter about the camps. Jerry, take it easy now, will you? You're a young fella, and you have a lot of time yet to prove yourself. Try to stay out of trouble, okay? Attaboy. Mrs. Williams. I have another call to make tonight, so I'm going to have to leave. You'll be notified when to appear in juvenile court with Jerry. Good night. Good night, Jerry.
Good night.
Mr. Phillips. Look, maybe we have been a little soft on the kid. But, well, we'll see to it that he doesn't get into any more trouble.
It'll be awfully hard on Jerry to be away from home.
Mrs. Williams, the court never takes a boy out of his home unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, you folks haven't been very good with Jerry up till now. How do I know you'll be any better in the future?
Well, I'll spend a little more time with him. Look, I'm on the road a lot, and I don't get many chances to see the kid. I know. I'll take him on some trips with me.
Mr. Williams, whatever plans you have for Jerry's future, tell them to the judge in court. Good night.
Good night.
Phillips. Well, are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of the mess you got us into?
Jerry, do you realize what you're doing to us? Do you think we like having the police here all the time?
Well, you got yourself into a real mess this time. They're gonna send you to prison. Well, what do you want me to do?
Kind of rough, kid. What'd they get you on?
Swiping cars, burglary.
Real hotshot, huh? Where are they sending you?
Well, my P.O. said something about a forestry camp.
That's not so bad. I was in a forestry camp for a while.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Pretty rough, wasn't it? I bet they really ride you up there.
It wasn't so bad. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, what do you do up there, anyway?
Well, let's see. You sleep in cabins. Get up every morning at about 4:30 and go to work. The chow's good and you get plenty of it. And then at night you go to school. Well, it's pretty rough at first, but you'll get used to it.
I guess the guards really kick you around if you're getting any beefs, huh?
I never saw a kid get touched. There's no guards up there, Jerry, just counselors, and they're okay. The guys themselves will freeze you if you mess up. You see, kid, you gotta work for your group in camp. If not, some other group's gonna beat you to the top. As soon as you get there, you're assigned to a work group with guys your own age. And they're your friends, too, right from the start. That's if you square with them. You really gotta stick together. Customer. Say, if you go to Pine Mountain Camp, say hi to Hal Jacoby for me. He's a counselor down in cabin D4. It's down by the mess hall.
Sure thing.
Now remember, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, if Jerry gets into any more trouble, I will order his detention. If you can't control him, the court will have to.
Certainly glad that's over with.
Yeah, it's a lucky thing that kid hasn't gotten into any trouble lately. You know, they were going to send him to one of those juvenile camps, thanks to that Phillips and Martin.
Oh, I never was so embarrassed in all my life.
Hey, come here. Hey, you heard the judge, didn't you? The next time they'll make room for you. Next time you get into trouble, you take your own medicine. I'm not going to defend you. You think I like crawling to those people, making promises? Now they got me over a barrel.
Imagine the nerve of that judge, saying he'd like to send some of the parents to prison. I could tell him a thing or two. Why don't you go upstairs and get out of that suit before you ruin it?
Here, take your old suit. I don't want it.
Jerry!
Listen here, you little...
You listen. You never listen to me. All you ever do is talk about yourselves. I hope they do send you to prison. To heck with you. I'm getting out of here.
Next time, huh? Okay.
Lakewood Police Station, Juvenile Section, Officer Batelli. What? Who is it? Where are you? Okay, we'll have a car there in 10 minutes.
The Williams boy.
Come on, Nancy, let's bring him in.
North Carolina families live in these particular homes. But like homes in every state, they are the expression of a love. The love that men and women feel for each other and for their children. The Stewart family happens to live in this home. And like most other families, they are held together by love. But like other loving parents, Mr. and Mrs. Stewart can be quite angry on occasion.
Will you look at that? If I've told her once, I've told her 100 times. She will not put her things away. Oh, no. It's leading late.
Now, Ellen, you can't expect her to run upstairs with her stuff every time she comes in the house.
I tell you, it's nothing but temper and tantrum and sulks. She was all over it by the time she was 6. Now she's 15, it's starting all over again.
Oh, let's not go through all that again. Can't we have any peace and quiet around here anymore?
Go ahead, take her side. You and that school counselor, Mrs. Soames.
Now, you know very well that Mrs. Soames is supposed to advise the boys and girls at school. That's her job.
Mrs. Soames says I should go out for the Dramatic Society. Mrs. Soames says I might make a great actress.
I could have been an actress. Anybody could. Do you think she'll talk to me about it? Oh, no. I'm just left out of everything.
What do you want, a pin? Where is she now?
She said she was going to a party at Glenda Ford.
Oh.
Golly, Susan, what's the matter? You sound like the angel Gabriel. Honk, honk.
Dope.
Gee, Susan, no matter what anybody says, there's nothing wrong about a kiss.
Thanks for bringing me home, Pete. I had a swell time.
I had a swell time, too.
Father, Mother, this is Pete.
I'm afraid it's all my fault, Mr. Stewart.
I'm afraid it is. It might improve matters if you went home.
Sorry, Susan. I'll be seeing you.
Nice, Pete. He's the nicest boy I know. You did everything you could to embarrass him.
I don't think much of anyone who brings you home at this hour of night.
Is this the kind of advice Mrs. Soames gives you?
Pete Bolton is my friend.
You know we only want what's best for you, Susan.
Susan, where were you?
Where I told you I'd be, at Glenda's.
Oh, no, you weren't. Not after 11 o'clock. I know. I called Glenda.
You called her?
Yes, I did.
We had to, Susan. We were so worried.
I'm not going to be spied upon. You make a fool of me in front of my friends. I'm not doing anything wrong, and I have a right to lead my own life.
Susan, come back here.
Might as well be dead for all anyone cares. I work and I try. Every other kid has a good time. Nobody picks on them. Every other girl has better clothes than mine. I'll do something wonderful. Like finding $1 million. Or becoming a modern Florence Nightingale. Then look out. Weren't so ugly. I might join the Foreign Service, like Mata Hari. You're old, Susan Stewart. And you have skin like an alligator. You're a woman of mystery. You have all the allure of the Orient. Who are you? You're a beautiful actress. The most beautiful actress in the whole world. And I love you. Good night, my beloved. You dope.
That's the most adorably divine cardigan I've seen in years. Bassett's, they've got a new shipment. That's a pretty ribbon, too. But I think a coral one would look prettier in my hair.
Hey, looks like Mac Martin's got himself a new date.
Yipes, look at those clothes.
Oh, she's in my dramatic society. She always dresses like that.
Maybe that's what her mother wants her to wear.
Don't talk about mothers to me. Why can't they grow up like the rest of us?
They don't get out much.
Hey, Pete, did you hear Jim Hammer's old man's making him work in the store to pay for that fender?
He'll be there for life.
Parents.
Well, my pop's giving me fits. One day it's grow up and be a man, and the next day you're out too late.
Here comes your friend.
Hi, Mac.
Well, hello, Mac. Hi, Mac.
That's my part in the play.
No, it isn't. You're going to play Katie.
Kate, that's the old woman.
Yeah. Well, goodbye now. See you later.
They can't do this to me. I'm going to go tell Mrs. Soames. That was my part in the play. I was just right for it. Why, Kate's as old as my mother. I'll show them. I'll resign from the Dramatic Society.
Hey, take it easy.
Oh, you're just like all the rest. But I'll resign. Just you wait and see. Or I'll kill myself first. Susan!
Hey, what gives with her?
Who knows? Women. Come on, sit down.
Not at all, Glenda. Now, I'm not trying to check up on Susan the way she thinks. I just wondered whether you'd happen to see her and if she said where she was going. Oh, she said she was going to see Mrs. Soames. Well, then that's probably where she is. No. Then, of course, I won't worry. Thank you, Glenda. Bye-bye. So, that Soames woman again. Doesn't she know we expect that child home in time for dinner? I have a good mind to go over there and tell her exactly what I think.
Why don't you?
Didn't mean exactly that. Naturally, I'm worried about Susan, and so are you, and it does seem...
Why don't you go and see her then?
Now, don't go on insisting on my going.
Why not? She may have some advice for us.
All right. Dinner can wait. And you're coming with me. She's your daughter, too, you know.
Why? Why does it have to be me? It frightens me. Not getting the part frightens me. I must be a dreadful person.
No, you're not dreadful.
Don't try to tell me that. I know.
I'm not a very brilliant person, Susan.
Oh, you are. You know you are.
But I've seen enough young people after years of teaching to know that you're not a bit different from the rest of your crowd.
Then why am I lonely?
You're not alone. Your classmates have the same sense of being at sea. Childhood is an island. You've left that behind. On the edge of the sea is the mainland. You'll be grown up when you reach it. On this sea you're traveling, grown-ups can sometimes seem pretty obstinate and trying. Mothers and fathers sometimes have problems, worries you may not know anything about. Sometimes parents can seem awfully unreasonable. It's hard for them to change. It's easier for you, you're younger. Will you try to understand them as people, Susan, to give in a little here and there?
I will if you say so. I trust you. Mrs. Soames, if only I had a... Oh, darn. Should I go? Mother!
This is a pleasure. Come in, won't you?
Thank you.
I've wanted to talk to you about Susan, Mrs. Soames. I guess I've waited long enough. I'd like that. Susan, why don't you run along with your father?
Well, that's a good idea.
But I don't want to.
I'm sure you don't.
It's awfully nice of you to see us, Mrs. Soames.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. Stewart.
Hope we're not intruding.
Oh, not at all.
Good night, Mrs. Soames.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Stewart.
Night,
Won't you sit down, Mrs. Stewart?
She'll absolutely ruin everything. By the time that conversation's over, may as well leave town. Stickiest thing you could have let her do. Why did you?
I thought it was a good idea.
Golly. Who wants to have their friends dragged into a family argument?
Susan, maybe your mother knows best.
Why? Why does it just naturally have to be that parents know best?
We're trying, Susan. That's why your mother went to Mrs. Soames.
Oh, why can't you see things my way?
I'm afraid you don't know what it's like to live with Susan day after day, Mrs. Soames. That's true enough. Although we do see a great deal of her at school. She just does whatever comes into her mind. We think it quite a good one. Mind of a 15-year-old. When do you want her to start using it, this 15-year-old mind? When she's 18 or 24? Surely you don't want that, Mrs. Stewart. No. Cream and sugar? Thanks, I have a little cream. Her dissatisfactions are her strength. She's got to think with the mind she has, Mrs. Stewart. You and I, we must never be guilty of holding life back. But As though I couldn't share her life anymore. She's never at home. When she is, she's so irritable and contrary. Why?
Don't worry about her, Mrs. Stewart. They all have to go through it. This period of struggle, uncertainty, revolt. It's how they grow up to become independent people. Trust Susan. She can handle freedom because you've given her a good foundation of sound values.
Tell me, what's happened between me and my daughter?
She needs her friends and her gang. They all do. She needs to know some boys. You wouldn't want to have her unattractive, ignored. Oh, I know it's a difficult period. She's hot-headed, disagrees with you about everything, wants to run life on her own terms. Just now, she's kicking over some of the traces. But never was there a time when she needed you more. We can't help. We can only remember to keep hands off. If we don't declare war on them, we can only remember that underneath it all, they're so uncertain about everything. Make her your friend, Mrs. Stewart. Give her about 3 more years in which to grow. You're going to be very proud of her.
I don't know what's gotten into you. You never used to pick on me.
Oh, baby, you mustn't feel that way.
I'm not a baby. And I don't want to be cuddled. I want to be understood.
Sure. Sure you do, Susan. We all want to be understood. Even your mother. I'll try. I'll try real hard, Susie.
Mrs. Sums told me about the part, Susan. I'm sorry you didn't get the one you wanted. I thought, you know that white lace dress of mine? Well, Mrs. Soames and I thought it would be just perfect for your second act. That is, if you think it's right.
Oh, brother!
Look, it's hanging in the closet in my hall. And don't say brother.
Say, looks as if you made out all right.
Yes. You know she's 11th in a class of 46. Susan.
Say, that's fine.
I can remember now a little more of what it was like. She's going through a very difficult period.
Yes, and we've got to give her a lot of understanding. We've got to show her. Make her really know that we love her.
Mother. Mother, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's just perfect for me. It's just right for the part. Oh, Mom, you're wonderful.
I feel as though I'd lost you.
Oh, Mom, don't be silly. You know, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I wonder if Pete'll like it.
Well, no, it's not supposed to be boy bait.
Well, I like that. He loved it on Mother. Always trying to take the fun out of it.
Susan, don't bother your father when he wants to read. Turn around. Go over here. I want to see something.
Goodness, some people. You know, I was wondering if we let it up in the front and down in the back, maybe it wouldn't wiggle so.
Looks pretty good to me, just the way it is.
Well, it looks as if you girls are going to work things out all right. For now.
No, the trials of adolescence aren't settled in one day. They must be lived through day after day, year after year. Parents are dismayed by rebellion strangely mixed with the need for guidance and support. Adolescents are mortified by inner and outer forces urging them toward maturity while holding them back. And for both generations, the only answers are love and understanding.
What can I do for you, kid?
Just looking. You got any penicillin?
Like it says on the sign, this is a drugstore. How do you want it? Pills, ointment? What's your prescription say? Your doctor gave you a prescription, didn't he?
Sure he did. Only I haven't got it on me. He said I should have some penicillin.
No prescription, no penicillin. That's the law. Morning.
Can I have this right away?
Certainly, lady. You little punk.
I wasn't going to take anything.
I ought to call the police.
But I didn't take anything. Believe me.
What's the trouble, kid?
Please, give me some penicillin.
Hey, he really looks sick. You ought to call the doctor.
What's wrong with you, kid? What do you need it for?
I must have caught something from a girl.
I can't give you anything for that. You've got to see a doctor.
All it is a sore. I don't want to bother a doctor.
Could be syphilis. Kid, almost every day some guy comes in here and asks me for some pills or medicine that'll cure VD. I can't give them to you. You've got to go to a doctor. Or go to the district health center. They'll take care of you.
Health center? I don't want anybody telling my family.
They won't tell anyone. They're doctors. They'll cure you. It won't cost you anything. Now, you find the address in the phone book. Look under the city. Health department.
Okay. Thanks.
Get out of these Bruce! Get him, Bruce! Hey, Bruce, hit it! One out!
Too bad, Bruce.
Nice game, Bruce. Great game, Bruce. Bruce, you really swing. Tremendous. Sorry, Lord. I was good about playing now. I had a bad game. Those are the Braves.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Am I interrupting?
Of course not.
What if we go to my house and have some coffee?
I'm not up to impressing your folks right now.
They're not home.
I've got to study anyway. I've got an exam next week.
I'm sorry about the game.
You think I'm not?
Bruce? All of a sudden, I can't seem to talk to you anymore.
Look, talking is not going to do any good. It doesn't have anything to do with you.
If we can't talk, what's the point of seeing each other?
We'll talk. Look, I have to study.
You said that yesterday and the day before.
I have to study.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I didn't mean.
I'll see you. Excuse me.
What's he running that water for? What are you running that water for?
Take a shower.
Did you take one this afternoon?
I'm taking another.
What a regular nut house I live in. What kind of kid is he?
A clean kid.
Speaks back to his father and stays out all night?
Human.
Yeah, he's 17.
And sooner he'd take dope.
10 hours a day I work to feed this family. A lot of help I get around here.
Here, drink your coffee.
Something the matter with you?
Nothing's the matter.
What are you doing going to bed? We're a family. We never see each other.
Bruce? Want some nice ice cream? A cup of coffee?
No, thanks.
Look. So you miss making a basket. It's nothing to get sick over.
That's not it. With Laura?
You haven't gone and got her in any trouble, have you?
Dad, did you know a lot of girls? You know, before you settled down with Mom.
Oh, sure, I guess I knew my share.
Did any of them...
What?
Skip it.
Bruce. You could talk to me.
It's nothing.
Bruce. that kid acts, you'd never know we're his parents.
Whatever it is, he'll get over it.
Number 35. Please close the door.
And what makes you think you have syphilis?
I've got a sore. I've washed it a lot, but it's still there.
When was the last time you had intercourse?
About 5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago. Well, there's only one sure way of telling if you're infected. Let's examine you and take some tests. Let's see. That sore on the genitals is a pretty clear indication.
Look, I know I've got it. Will you give me the medicine?
Hey, not so fast. First, we gotta take some samples, and let's see what the lab has to say.
Number 35, spirochetes, dark field positive.
Thank you, nurse. You were right. You've got syphilis. Yeah, luckily we caught it in its first stage. Hasn't had a chance to do too much harm. It won't take long to clear up.
How long?
About 2 weeks. After I give you this injection, step down the hall and talk to Ben Miller. He's our health representative. He'll want to ask you a couple of questions. Anything you talk to him about is absolutely confidential.
The doctor told me I had to talk to you.
Come on in, sit down. You know much about syphilis, Bruce?
I know I've got it.
Well, that's a start. Do you know how you got it?
Sat on a toilet seat.
Bruce, it's a medical fact that gonorrhea and syphilis are not spread from touching doorknobs or toilet seats. So let's start over again. They are spread from person to person through sexual contact, and you don't get rid of them by passing them on to someone else. They can travel from boy to girl, girl to boy, or between persons of the same sex.
I know who I got it from, thanks.
Good, because we'd like to know too.
That's my business, isn't it?
Not just your business, Bruce, no. You see, the girl who gave it to you has still got it. You may have given it to someone else. Take a look at this. Here's a chart of an outbreak. Now, from one person, the infection spread to all of these. That's how syphilis works. Now, to fight it, we have to know who you may have gotten it from and who you may have given it to. That means we have to know the name of anyone you've had relations with during the period of an infection. Now, anyone you've been with and don't tell us about may start a fresh epidemic. So tell me, Bruce, what sexual contacts have you had in the past 3 months?
One.
Only one?
One girl, one time, 5 weeks ago. Yes, I'm sure, and I don't need any health lectures.
Health lecture might have saved you from the trouble you're in now. What's the girl's name?
I don't remember the name.
Let's not kid around, Bruce. A girl's health is at stake, not your pride. Listen, this is a disease that kills and cripples thousands of people every year.
All right, I'll tell you, but will you do one thing for me?
What's that?
Let me tell her first before any of you guys.
All right, you can tell her first. Now, what's her name?
Her name's Ellie Barnes. I don't know where she lives, but she works at Hanson's Diner on 3rd Street.
Rosie,
Ellie Barnes still work here?
she draws a paycheck. Ellie, customer.
Okay, I'm coming. Will it be?
Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Bruce. We got some fresh blueberry pie.
Just a Coke. In the booth back there. I want to talk to you.
I can't. I'm busy.
Ellie, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't important.
Grace, can you take care of my customers for a minute?
Honey, somebody's got to take care of them.
Haven't seen you in a long time. You're looking good.
Yeah, thanks. You're looking great. Ellie,
I heard you got a steady girl. Congratulations.
thanks.
I never expected to see you again.
I didn't expect to see you either.
Something the matter?
I was at the district health center today. I got syphilis.
All the lousy luck. I'm sorry. Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt.
I had a friend who thought he had it, but it went away.
Ellie, I got it from you.
Syphilis from me? That's a lousy thing to say.
You're the only person I could have got it from.
That was over a month ago. But then, do you suppose I still got it? What am I going to do?
They're going to get in touch with you from the health center, but I wanted to tell you first.
What do they do to me? If I get into any trouble, it'll kill my mother.
You won't get in any trouble. They'll examine you. They'll give you some shots.
Tell them you remembered wrong. Tell them it wasn't me.
Let them look at you, Ellie. You want to walk around sick for the rest of your life and drop dead when you're 40?
I want to drop dead right now. Look, I didn't mean to get you in any trouble. I gotta go.
How much is the coat?
Oh, it's on the house. Bruce, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck to both of you. I never saw anything, Doctor.
Well, in your case, Ellie, the sore from the infection could have been inside, where it would have gone unnoticed. And, treated or not, the symptoms would have disappeared after about a month or so. That's when most people think they're cured. Then, from a few weeks to several months later, the disease comes back. That's the secondary stage, and that's what we're looking for now.
Doctor, I feel fine.
Any rashes lately?
No.
You had any headaches or fever? Any swelling of the neck glands? You had any sores in your mouth? No? Sore throat? Well, let's see your hands, please. Sores between the fingers. Do you have any between your toes? Or on the soles of your feet?
Honest, Doc, I never felt better.
You may still be in the second stage of syphilis. We're going to take a blood test to find out for sure.
I hate needles.
You see, if you had secondary syphilis and the disease went undetected and untreated, the symptoms would disappear, but the disease would still be at work in the body. And years later, it would hit back hard. It would produce blindness, insanity. And if you got pregnant, the disease would be transmitted through your blood to the baby. You might have a deaf, blind, or idiot child as a result.
Okay, doctor. Take the test. One test I wish I could have flunked. All the lousy luck.
It's not a question of luck, Ellie. With hit-and-run contacts, you just can't win. Now, you can help us, and maybe a few other people, too, if you tell us the names of anybody you've had relations with in the past year.
Mr. Miller, I have an awfully bad memory.
Try to remember. Since last spring, who have you been with?
Well, spring vacation last year, I went to a party. I met this guy, Charlie. We danced. Then I went back to his place. He lives on 112th Street, right near the river. Gee, I never walked up so many stairs in my life. Harrison, his name was, I think. Charlie Harrison. Then he got married. They were always getting married. Nice apartment. Air conditioned. Larry Everett. Yeah, it was Everett. I'm sure that was the name. His name was Lyle. Light-haired guy. Good dancer.
What was his last name?
Oh, I don't remember the name. You don't have to worry about him, though. He's one guy who knows how to take care of himself.
Ellie, a lot of guys think they can take care of themselves. Too many. In fact, that's why venereal disease is so widespread. Are these all of your contacts? Now, anyone you leave off this list is in danger. And the danger is probably spreading.
Bruce isn't here. I haven't seen him either. Okay.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, I've been waiting to talk to you. That's been worrying you. It's beginning to get me down, too.
I gotta get to practice.
You'll be 5 minutes late.
I'm 10 minutes late already.
Then maybe you better take this with you.
Hey, Laura. Laura, wait a minute. Let me talk to you tonight.
I can't take another minute of this, Bruce. If we're going to talk, it's got to be now.
You know the way I feel about you, Laura. At least I hope you know. I meant everything I said when I gave you this ring. I still mean it. Only last month when we had that argument, I went out with another girl. This girl, I only saw her once. She doesn't mean anything to me. But later I found out that this girl,
Does this girl have something to do with us, Bruce?
maybe.
What do you mean? Do you want to go back to her?
I only want you, Laura.
Then please, just tell me what I did that made you stop seeing me.
You didn't do it. This girl, she had a disease. She gave it to me.
What kind of disease?
Syphilis.
Syphilis?
I've been to the clinic. I'm taking shots. I'll be all right in a couple of weeks, then we can be together again.
When you're all right. Bruce, I've heard about syphilis.
Don't leave me, Laura.
Why didn't you tell me before?
I didn't think. I didn't know what to do.
Why didn't you tell me you might have given me syphilis?
I didn't want to lose you. I hoped you hadn't gotten it.
But suppose I do have it. Were you going to wait till I went blind or insane or we had a deformed baby?
I wanted to tell you. I tried to, but
But what?
I love you.
If you'd hated me, you couldn't have done better.
Laura, we'll send this blood off for testing, and we'll know how the shots have worked out.
You mean I'm cured?
I should think so. Let's make really certain. You were lucky this time, Laura, but there's no immunity against syphilis or gonorrhea. As long as you expose yourself to them, you can catch them over and over. There's only one protection against venereal disease. I think you know what it is. You're a young woman, Laura, and you have an adult's freedom. But don't forget that that freedom has to be used intelligently.
Hanson's. Ellie, telephone.
Hello? Speaking.
Ellie, this is Ben Miller at the health center. How's everything?
Just fine. I mean, it's hell, but it's fine, thanks.
Ellie, we've traced all the names of the contacts except one. Your friend Lyle.
Oh, yeah, Lyle.
You haven't seen him again or happen to remember his last name, have you?
Began with a T or a P. Lyle something.
Ellie, you've got to remember the name. Without it, we're going to have a very tough search.
Lyle?
Telephone for you.
Who is it? Some girl. Veronica something. Who?
Veronica.
Tell her I'll see her at 8.
Somewhere in this city, or wherever he is, the missing Lyle P. or Lyle T. remains potentially dangerous to himself and to the community. Because there are so many thousands like Lyle and like Ellie, too, free and easy sex behavior invites syphilis, deadly syphilis.
Never mind, Harry. Here she is now. Kathy, it's after midnight.
I, a baby? I have to break up every party.
But you're only 15.
A lot you know about me. A lot you care. Since Mom died, nobody cares.
But
My birthday was last week. I'm 16. Oh.
In a big city, an allowance doesn't stretch far. Bargains, a night's rest, then a job.
You're sure you're 18?
Certainly.
Without experience of any kind, well, I'm afraid we won't be able to help you.
I'll take anything.
Sorry.
But
The third day, it's getting very hungry out. But there's that watch Dad gave her.
I'm with Traveler's Aid. Is there anything I can do to help?
Traveler's Aid, a helping hand to everyone away from home. Kathy needs their help. She doesn't talk at first, but when it comes,
and he makes me cook and wash dishes. I can't stay out after 11. He's just too strict.
Common ailment with fathers. You're his baby, Kathy. No mother to remind him you're growing up. You two ever talk things over?
How can you talk through a newspaper?
I wonder whether your father isn't as baffled by all of this as you are. Maybe he finds it hard to talk with you. Hardly means he doesn't love you. Ever think about that?
No.
Father and daughter are sometimes worlds apart, and yet very close. Close in a way they find hard to express to each other.
I don't even know if he wants me back.
We can find out. There's a Traveler's Aid near your town. They can contact him.
I wonder how mad he'll be. You know, he never once spanked me, and he gives me a real good allowance. You think he's worried?
Why don't you get yourself some breakfast while I find out?
Mr. Williams was very worried and had reported Kathy to the Missing Persons Bureau. Traveler's Aid back home talked with him, tried to help him understand why Kathy had left.
He wants to talk with you.
Daddy?
I love you, too. Save the money for an airplane ticket. First class.
Let's go get that ticket.
Do you happen to know of a good recipe for pancakes?
Now, you take a cup and a half of flour. Fourth of a teaspoon of salt.
Because this is where she was helped, Kathy is safe, happier, and on her way home. Traveler's Aid, another service of your community chest. Your community chest gives you what you want. One appeal for many causes, low campaign costs, giving services where most needed. Make your answer a bigger yes to community chest.